Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to session 35 of the Seregen campaign. I'm the Wombat of DM, and we are back for another roaring session. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're well. Let's introduce our party down below.
Hello, I am the Banewall, and I will be playing Belzian Gilkis, who is a half-elf monk. Hiya!
I'm Amethyst, and I'm playing Roger Mays, the Wood Elf Assassin. And that's all I have to say about that.
Hi, I'm playing Ulrich, the human, or Ulrich Oakenhearth, rather, the human paladin.
I am Jaeger, and I'm playing Yarvik, the Halfling Ranger, who enjoys shooting things with arrows. It's fun.
I am Zippo, the possibly were dragon vampire in the future, but that's for later purposes. At the moment, I'm a sorcerer though.
And you're also a kobold.
Yeah, I'm also a kobold,
Right.
but that's for marketing to figure out.
So last session we left off with the party finally managing to find a friendly civilization on the other side of the wall. The Elven area of Necrata, specifically in a town named Aurora, where they met an elf leader, the village leader, named Reynard Reyes, and he kind of explained a lot of what was going on, some of the burning questions that the party had. And they also discovered that he was one of the original architects of the wall. Eventually, they also confessed that the party, or more specifically, Zippo and Jordan, were responsible for bringing down the wall to begin with, and he systematically called the group the Wall Breakers and tasked them to work to undo the damage that they've wrought on the world. Or at least that's kind of my summary of it. He didn't say it quite so, quite like that. But yeah, ultimately he asked each party member to vow to work to undo this problem by trying to get the leaders of each nation to make peace and sign a treaty of peace or some sort.
Specifically, we promised to at least talk to them.
Yes. And when upon shaking their hands, they each felt a tingle as if having made a pact. They also found out that Necrata is actually, another name for Necrata is Shadowfell, or the Shadowlands, and another name for Relic was the Feywilds, which is an interesting thing to note as well. Before they could speak much further, though, they were interrupted by the arrival of a delegation of vampires, led by a guest star that we had last week. Queen of Brambles played Baroness Bavon Theres, and they the party hid while the Baroness kind of took control of the area and searched for any humans that might be in hiding with the elves. And basically tasked the elves with holding up their end of the bargain with the alliance that they have of protecting the vampire lands from the evils to the north. Roger did not hide, but the rest of the group did. Roger kind of masqueraded as one of the elves of the village, and the vampires eventually left, taking Ire, the leader of the elves that had traveled with the party earlier, with her. And from there, the party rested at Gormier's house for the night, took a long rest, and have now awoken in the morning to do some chores before they take their leave for regions unknown. Does that about sum it up for everyone?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Does seem to be what happened.
All right, so I know we left off with saying that we were preparing to leave, but I'm sure it's kind of like when you are on vacation and you're packing up your hotel room because you got to check out at 11. It doesn't necessarily mean you're leaving the area. It just means that you have to check out of your hotel room, right? So
Get out of my house.
you all have packed.
Yes.
Yeah, Gormir's like, I'm leaving, so you should too, basically. And so the party is packed to go, but running errands, selling things, buying things, and whatnot.
Sell. Buy.
You don't know, get my
Yeah,
bag.
so I know
We made the wall
we've
crash.
established. So I know we've established that money-wise, the group is actually finding themselves kind of a little bit. While they have some nice, powerful objects, they don't necessarily have the money to back up the other side of that wealth at the moment. It's actually not necessarily a bad thing because they quickly find that the rate of money is a little bit different here in Necrata. If you recall, I said last time, it's glass, copper, gold, platinum, and then gems. So there is no silver in this for probably obvious reasons. But also, people seem pretty unwanting of Seregen-ish coin. They prefer the gems or solid hunks of metal, so or glass if you have it. Glass coins actually.
We didn't keep the glass that we got from the mines, I don't think.
Yeah, that's fair. You did get some glass gems that were fake. At least at the time, that's what they were called, fake gems, right?
Well, the jeweler
you-
specifically told us that they were glass. I don't think he used the words fake. But
Okay.
yeah, we definitely didn't hold on to them, I don't think, because they were, at the time, we thought worthless. I do have this big old hunk of amethyst, though.
You do.
Roger's going to pull
That
that
is
out
fair.
of his backpack.
Amethyst with his amethyst.
All right, so I guess you're gonna search out somebody that might be able to pay you for the amethyst, or are you looking to trade it directly for the things you want?
I'll be right back.
I'm happy to trade it directly for the things that I'm looking for. But if there's currency that I can use here in Necrata, that may be practical also.
If so, I assume that you're probably not gonna want to break up the amethyst, right? You're gonna wanna.
I think it's more valuable as a single piece.
Right. So, I would say for the things that you're asking for, the basic stuff.
Potions.
So the potions would normally be somewhere around. So I'll give you the exact exchange rate for things. So we don't have. So it's usually copper, silver, gold, and platinum in our setting, right?
Yeah, I don't think we've encountered
It's
any
only
electrum
4.
coins.
Not yet.
Yeah. So Electrum, definitely isn't a thing in this world. Like it's not even an element.
It's not an element. It's an alloy.
Well, yeah,
Silver.
alloy. Yeah, it's just
But people don't.
it's not something that they've developed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least I mean, I just don't know enough about Electrum to be frank.
Yeah, that's fair. People basically stopped using it after the Bronze Age because they figured out how to separate gold from silver because they're usually in the same
Right.
ore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's funny that it's anyway. So yeah, glass is like pennies, copper's in the same place, and then it goes straight up to gold, platinum, and then so they're all priced the same. It's just that it's missing silver. But with the gems is like one step up from platinum. So like 10 platinum equals 1 gem. So one and like depending on the gem, it might be worth more. But gem is like they actually have like a standardized gem size because there's apparently a common gem in Necrata that is often utilized, and it is in fact amethyst.
Ooh. Exciting.
So because the amethyst is not in a standardized size, they kind of weigh it, and then I believe you picked like a small manageable size. It was like
Something I could carry in
like
one
a
hand. Yeah, not
right,
not-
like a fist size,
yeah,
right?
not significant.
It wasn't like a tall obelisk of one.
Nah, I like a brick.
Right. So I would say your hunk of amethyst is worth about 600 gold.
I'll happily trade it for that. And that'll be golden Necrata's gold pieces, I assume.
Yes. So Necrata's gold pieces are gold pieces that have a line down the middle, and there's a half moon on each side, or like kind of like the nail of a moon. So it's like a crescent. So it kind of looks like a crescent line crescent, if that makes sense. And then on the other side, it has just a polished facing, almost like a mirror. Like it's just completely blank on the other side. So it's just the crescents on one side with a line through the middle, and then on the other side it's just a mirror.
Cool.
You can, by looking at the coin, you can see that it could actually be broken in half and used as half gold pieces.
Pieces of 8.
Well, pieces of 2.
Pieces of 2.
Yeah.
Not as catchy. I also have this suit of leather armor. I'd be happy to trade off if anybody here needs it.
I have.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I have a bunch. So, Seregen gold coin is still gold at the base element, right? Like it's not coated with a piece slug of copper or anything, right?
You can melt them down.
As far as you know.
Yeah, let's just melt down some gold. I've got a ton of gold. I've got like 747 gold. Let's just melt some down, just find a crucible, and then we just have a chunk of gold we can trade with. Unless we want to wait to see what we get to once we get to the, our destination, because we'll have to do a currency exchange again, depending on what we find over there.
What, over in Relic?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have a common currency system over there. I wouldn't think they would, but dragons, gold, it's kind of a thing.
So I guess there are pros and cons then to exchanging your gold by melting it down and either having it reforged or maybe even just turned into bars. That's up to you whether you'd like to do it or not. What do you guys think?
I don't have any gold, but I do have I also have a set of leather armor and a horse with saddlebags because I don't need that. It's like I brought the best mount. And I also have the bullseye lantern, a steel mirror, 10-foot pole, 2 things of hempen rope, and an iron door.
I've got this magical darkness lantern I don't need anymore.
I mean, we could maybe find a use for it. You never know. I'll say about melting down the gold. While I think that's a really cool idea, we are not forge smiths. We do not have things to melt this with. That's going to cost money to do. I would see what we can get through bartering first, and then later on, if we want to melt the gold, that would be great. But or like we'll just need to factor in that we'll have to pay someone to do that.
Yeah, if they cost it's like 10% of the weight or whatever, you know. It's like we'll do the job, but we'll take 10% of the weight as the cost of doing the job. Because I mean, it's a crucible, right? It's like melting gold is like that's anybody can do that.
Right, but yeah.
Anybody can melt gold, but making it into something is the problem, right?
Making it into
Otherwise,
bars.
you just have a bucket of metal.
Melt it into a mold.
They were happy to trade raw materials just a few minutes ago.
Right.
That's the thing. That's what I'm thinking, right? Like it seems like they're very willing to barter with raw goods. So a chunk of gold is, I mean, it's we're just trading the gold, right? It doesn't really matter what the mark is, what the mark on the gold is. It's just gold.
See, but that's the difference. In one aspect, the amethyst doesn't have any markings on it, and they were glad to take it. But they seem a little more hesitant when it has the marking of Seregen, of the J with the gem.
Yeah, see, it's perfect. My leather armor doesn't have that marking. The horse with saddlebags doesn't have that marking. The steel mirror doesn't have that marking.
Correct.
Belsian will smugly mention that we can just leave all the gold at the local temple.
What is the temple going to use it for? Repairs? Useless.
They
I've
grow
always wondered if-
all of their buildings out of trees.
Always
But
wondered
that's
if
true too. Yeah.
gods eat gold. Ooh, a tree house.
Plot twist: all the gold is actually the chocolate wrapped in gold, and only the monks know how to unwrap it. That's how they live.
Okay, the leather armor they're willing to trade for 5 5 gold moons.
All right.
The horse. Let's see here. It was just a riding horse, correct?
Yeah, it's a riding horse with saddlebags.
Okay. They're willing to pay you 60 gold for that.
Okay. Any interest in the steel mirror?
They don't seem interested in the mirror.
Okay. It's fine. Keep it on my robe, then I won't take it out.
How about this magical lantern of darkness?
So that you were serious about that. Okay.
We haven't used it in such an incredibly long time, and I can't see in it.
Poor Carl. How much did you pay for that amethyst? It was like 3,000, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I could probably see what the darkness.
I mean, he did give us a discount because Simbo kept passing around the
Because he
coupon.
messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that and he messed up.
Me and Carl, we go back. At like in Jane or in Seregen in general, Carl and Jordan, the only 2 humans I really care about. But I'm especially letting them destroy Magic's magic. All right, like if war comes, I'm bleeding the enemy team there first. Don't care about anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell everybody except the guy that runs Magic's Magic to dip out of the town real fast, and then I'm leading the whole enemy army there. That gnome and that shop are going down, and I'm getting my bear.
Okay, Shade Eater.
Is unique.
And your organization paid for it, didn't they?
They paid part of it. It exhausted most of my
Yeah.
money, which is why I'm more or less broke.
Right. Yeah. The elf looks at it skeptically when you're showing it to them. What does it do?
It produces a big emanation of darkness a couple times a day when you open it, and it stops when you close it.
And you can, when you activate it, you can upcast the charges on it. I think, if I remember correctly, that we can upcast the charges on it to take away like magical light, or it does that innately. One of the two things.
Yeah, it's innately a higher level darkness spell, so it eats lower level darkness spells.
Yeah, and eats lower level light spells. I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly.
That too. But darkness does that anyway.
Yeah, true.
I'll give it to you for 1,000, or I'll take it for 1,000.
Deal.
All right, so total, the party has 1,065 vampire money.
All right.
Crescent moons.
Blood bucks.
And now
Can we-
I would like to find
Yes. Yes, let's go around and buy stuff now.
buying things sounds great.
Okay, so with healing potions, normal healing potions will be 50, greater will be 250, superior will be 2,500, and supreme will be 25,000.
Well, with I wasn't thinking about selling the shady heater last time, but now that I have, I kind of want another permanent item to replace it. Do they have magical armor?
Magical armor. Let me pull out my other book. What kind of magical armor are you looking for?
I mean, honestly, something that's better than the stuff I took off of that guy we killed.
Okay.
But I mean, if they have something that will make me more stealthy, I'd be happy to take that.
There's resistance armor, there's +1 armor.
+1's probably all I can afford, realistically.
Yeah, typically +1 armor you know of as being 1,000 plus the cost of the armor. But they are selling it for much less than that. Well, I wouldn't say much. Much might be an over exaggeration, but cheaper than that.
Do they have like
Go
a
ahead.
armor of being stealthy, or like a shadowy armor? Or do they have armor that's resistant to fire?
Yeah, there's a fire resistance
So
armor.
both of those two things appeal to me. Or actually, Zippo's got a lightning bolt though, right?
Yeah.
Do they have armors to resist electricity?
They do.
On the thing of magical items, what kind of magical items could I find here? Like, we're probably gonna spend it on armor right now, but just so Zippo knows in like the back of his mind, he keeps a little book of like places he can buy magic stuff at, and that's why he has a quill and ink. And magic's on the bottom of the list with a big angry X.
Not that there is such a thing, but minor wondrous items you can find here. Medium or major or artifacts you won't be able to find here. So magic tables A, B, C, some further tables, but ultimately speaking, the rarer it is, the more unlikely you'll find it. This seems to be, if they're selling it, it's mainly for utilitarian use.
Am I looking for so am I looking at like common magic items, uncommon?
Yeah,
Oh,
common
okay.
magic items.
I'm gonna look at those.
But it does seem like magic items are a lot more common in this region than they were in Seregen. Like, several stores have magical items instead of just one shop per town.
Ooh.
And if you don't get along with the owner, you have to go to a different town, it seems, in Seregen, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I already have a war plan for if for some unknown reason the party decides to go against Seregen. I have a plan. I'm going to Jewel. I'm making everybody in Jewel leave except the guy that runs Magic's Magic, and I'm leading the enemy army there first. That's my plan.
I think
So Amethyst, the +1 armor would be 750 plus the type of armor you want.
And how about the armor
So
of
that's 250 less.
How about the armor of electricity resistance?
Oh yeah, resistance. Resistance is it's usually 5,000 plus the cost of the armor. It's 3,500 here.
That's twice the amount of money I have, so that sounds unrealistic. I guess I'll get a set of +1 studded leather then.
Okay.
I'll pay with their Necrota coins.
Okay. Yarvik, did you say you had some things to sell as well? Or
No, I'm good. Most of my stuff is just regular adventuring stuff that I feel like I'd be using. I don't really. I mean, I have the old bow probably. Yeah, I mean, I could probably could get rid of that old bow. I don't really need that.
Oh yeah, can I trade in my old studded leather armor? For that matter.
Oh, well, the bow and the short sword. Actually, I could trade both of those things.
Your short sword's magical, isn't it?
My original short sword, not the one that I got.
Gotcha.
You also have that magical dagger.
Yeah, but obviously I don't want to get rid of that. So I'd say the longbow and the short sword. They're both just regular, not enchanted or anything like that.
Amethyst.
Yeah.
Did you attempt to buy the resistance armor from the same person you sold the Shade Eater from?
Sure. If they if that's where they had it, yeah.
Okay. If you'd like, before we move on from that, you could roll a check of your choice to see if you can convince them to trade you basically the Shade Eater for your resistance armor instead of the flat 1,000.
Like looking at my actual skills that I have expertise in, deception feels wrong.
Especially since these are like
I really want to be
elves, right?
You know, I'm looking at like deception, sleight of hand. Those aren't the skills that I want to be using here. Could I try to use insight?
Sure. I mean, how would you use insight, I guess, is the question.
I was trying to determine how much he needs this Shade Eater thing. and that seems like it'd be something that would be helpful to him. Trying to find bargaining chips, basically.
Fair.
He seems curious about it. And maybe vampires can't see in magical darkness either.
Yeah, maybe.
27.
With 1,000, he seems to have lowballed you slightly, and knowing how much you paid for it, that seems right. He seems to he seems to have the ability for wiggle room and is expecting you to haggle. And was surprised when you seemed to be happy to take, the 1,000.
I'll say, I'm looking for a new set of armor because this one's not doing so great. Maybe I won't clean you out a coin here, but we could trade this thing for that nice suit of armor you have up on the wall. I could throw in even a little bit of extra coin.
So the one you're gesturing at is the electricity one,
Yes.
correct? So that one has the insignia of a storm with realistic-looking lightning on it. When it sways in the slight breeze that's going through the town, the lightning seems to almost shimmer like it's moving within the armor. And he's like, this finely crafted thing. Well, I will say that your item is of some rarity. I've never heard of such a thing. And since it is from another world, I could do that, yes. And he pulls off the armor and hands it to you.
Thank you very much. If you want this old armor that I have for enchanting magical things or just for spare pieces, I'd be happy to give that to you.
He doesn't seem as interested in that.
Fair enough. Still has bloodstains on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, he kind of eyes it hesitantly and says, "No, you keep that for a good old time's sake."
Oh, thank you very much.
I didn't want to step on any of that, but I also do want to do some shopping.
Of course.
Maybe at the same place.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't have to be.
You can be there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have a crossbow bolts, a mace, a shield, and then I also have 3 iron ingots, a silver box, a brass box, those are the boxes, of course, that held the rings and the orbs, but I assume we could just, not have them in boxes. And I also have some powdered silver. Yeah, so these are all things that I have.
Okay. All right, that was a big list.
It was, sorry.
So, they're not really interested in the silver at all.
Yep.
I will say that. You could probably sell most of the regular items, maybe not at the same shop, but you could probably go around and sell them. Amos, while this shopkeeper is probably not interested in your armor, you could probably sell that off if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Or save it for somebody else down the line.
Yeah, if nobody in the party needs studded leather, I'd be happy to sell it off.
I mean, I need armor, but I'd like to get something else, really.
Okay.
Are you also looking for a shield, Ulrich?
No, I have a shield. I'm actually gonna just sell that off potentially.
Okay.
It's I would like to keep the mace and the shield for as long as I
Mhm.
can, but if I need more,
I guess what are you trying to buy first of
yeah,
all, and then we can see what you need to trade in order to
so
get
I
there.
would say that's fair. I would say
Because that's kind of what we ended up doing with with Amethyst is
True.
we've figured out what he wanted and then kind of went back to fix that.
yeah, that's fair. So I'm honestly just looking for because I can do healing. That's not really a problem. I'm honestly just looking for armor, and I would say that um, I'm either looking for uh, medium or heavy armor of some sort. It doesn't have to be magic. That's always nice if it is, but not really a big issue if it's not.
So medium or heavy armor.
Yeah,
Magically enchanted.
does not have to be magically enchanted. No. But
Okay.
at that magic shop, I did forget. I have the divination tablet from Orban.
Mhm.
I don't think that we're going to figure out a good way to make that work. And I would.
Have you tried yet?
I tried it back. I did try it at some point, I thought, and it didn't work for me.
I think you looked at it and it didn't have an image on it, and then you put it away.
Okay.
I don't think you tried using it.
Okay.
Yet.
Well, then maybe I won't sell that off, but yeah. So I'm thinking somewhere in the line of like breastplate or half plate for medium armor. Those would be
Okay.
decent. And failing that, chainmail.
The elves have several blacksmiths, and they have quite a few items of a lot of different variety. Um, if you know anything about these elves, they're ready for war at a moment's notice at the drop of a hat, and the hat has dropped. So if there's anything that they have, it's armor, right? So you can find breastplate at 400 gold pieces. Half plate if you'd like it at 750. There's heavy armor as well, so you could go up as high as you want. What do you which one are you specifically looking for?
I'd like to trade. I'd like to try and trade for the half plate if I can, but that's
Okay.
that's a big mountain to climb. So
Sure. So 750, you're at 168 now.
right, that's
you do have copper pieces.
Yeah, that's all Seregen stuff though.
Yeah, that's completely fair. So you're looking to trade the items you have for it.
Potentially, yeah.
You're not willing to trade your holy symbol, so
Certainly
you're looking to sell other things. Probably not your signet ring either, correct?
Maybe not. Depends on what I can get for it. But I'm thinking first. Like, I'm curious what the iron ingots actually would get me. The silver and brass boxes would get me.
I know I
Right.
just remembered this, but didn't we have extra rings of communication?
I thought we had given them all out.
Oh, okay. I wasn't. I remember at one point I made a necklace for Brunhild out of the 3 that we had extra. But I didn't remember if we gave one out or not.
So there are 8 rings that were in your possession. You found a 9th with Shadow.
Yep.
So you have 9. You gave 1 to Marius, and Jordan has 1. The rest is with the party.
So we have 2 extra.
You have 2 extra.
We can. I like. We could use those if anybody wants to use them to get something.
Yeah, maybe.
I kind of feel like they'd be more useful
Yeah.
for us in case we need to really talk to somebody.
The range
Yeah.
on them's so short, though.
It is very.
I mean,
short.
it's a mile.
Yeah, but
It's a mile.
we're walking back and forth between different planes of existence.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, if we, if we encounter an NPC and we're like, sorry, if we encounter someone and we all need to kind of hang low, hang tight, and sneak up on someone else. Like if the elves want us to help them with something, it'd be nice to be able to chat with them while we're collectively doing something together.
Frankly, you and Zippo can't sneak through a dark barn in the middle of the night.
Hold on. I do not have my chainmail anymore. I am trying to get something that's gonna allow me to be a little more stealthy. So,
All right.
although now that I said it, I meant breastplate, not half plate.
You meant breastplate, not half plate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, half plate is a disadvantage for stealth,
Right.
so I assume you're doing the breastplate
Yeah.
because of that, right?
Exactly.
Got it.
Whoever posits.
I was. Go ahead.
I understand this is the first time we've had the chance to get to civilization in a while, and definitely in Ulrich's case, he needs some armor because that was a crazy situation. But we don't really have to do a lot of spending right now. We're just, we don't have, we can keep we don't have to let it burn a hole in our purse. We could keep some of the resources we have because we don't know what we're going to need down the road.
That's my take on it as well. We get what we need and nothing else.
You can have my 65 blood bucks if you want them. Or because I don't think of anything that I can actually want right now. Not that the elves would
Blood
have
bucks.
prepared. Yeah, all credit to that goes to Belzian, by the way. He came up with that. I'm just stealing it.
Less up.
I love it.
I know you want to conserve our resources, Yarvin. But what with Jordan not being with us anymore, we really only have you and Ulrich for short-term healing. Anything else is going to be extended bed rest. So it might be wise for us to get a few potions.
Oh yeah, we should definitely focus on that. But as far as everybody is obviously has the right to get whatever armor or other needs that they want. But if we pool our resources and just get a bunch of health potions and then split them between us, I think that might be the best action given the exchange rate that we've been given on some of our items. And also, again, once we get where we're going, we don't know what the economic situation there is going to be either. So, I think we kind of split the difference. I think that would be the wisest choice for us.
Sure. I'll get a couple for me.
How much?
I feel like if we get health potions, one of you guys can hold Zippos because I'm not very good at those. I'm not good at holding items. Every item I've held that's been important has broken. So
yeah, has anybody even asked how much health potions are?
50 gold for
50
the
gold for regular, 250 for the next best, and like the best I think is like 2,500.
Gotcha. Yep.
It's increments of times 10 for each one. So 25, 250, 2,500, and then 25,000.
And what are the values for that? So the base health potion, what is the healing value?
Base health potion, a potion of healing is 2d4 plus 2. Greater healing is 44 plus 4. Superior healing is 8d4 plus 8. And supreme healing is 10d4 plus 20.
Cool.
Yeah, it's basically a waste to buy anything more expensive than the cheapest one.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking because it's. I mean, it's kind of close to cure light wounds, really.
Yeah, in combat healing is just dangerous and slow. No,
Do you think
something
we
to
should buy like a 12-pack of brewskis here, or how many should we get?
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't like quaff potions in your bonus action while you're doing other things.
I'm just gonna get 2 for myself. I think if we don't push ourselves like the elves had us doing on our way down here, and we go at a reasonable pace, we'll be able to catch our breath a little more frequently, and not have to go through quite as many daily resources or longer.
Sounds like a plan.
Um,
Definitely get Ulrich
Alright,
along
so-
though if we can.
Ulrich, the items like the shield and the mace, and even with the bronze and silver boxes, which they don't really seem as interested in, it doesn't seem to be enough for a breastplate.
Okay.
Um,
How much would I get from some of these items, though? Like, roughly?
Sure. Oh wait, I'm on the right page. So, you currently don't have any armor on you right now, correct?
At the moment, no.
Yeah. Because you left it behind?
Yeah. It was in my house, so I
Yeah.
wasn't going to go...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the mace... They'll take at flat rate of the 5 GP.
Okay.
And then you do have your shield.
I do have a shield, yes.
What kind of shield is it?
It's a shield that I grabbed from the Axeland.
Okay. That's 10 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Is there only just one kind of shield?
Yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah.
Needlessly uncomplicated, I say.
I mean, it's better than 3.5's like 8 kind of shields, which was just frankly excessive.
Fair, but give me like 3.
Shield has some sequels. I mean,
Small,
Shield
medium,
plus
and
1.
large.
There's Shield plus 2 as well.
Shield 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Must be a metal shield.
So in full, you get 15 silver. Or sorry, I keep doing silver.
So
I mean
they're not interested in the iron ore or the the iron.
Oh, the
ingots.
iron ore. Fair. The iron ingots. The iron ingots, since they're in bar form, they do have like a number code on them, but nothing that kind of ties it with Seregen. It's just kind of like a stamp from the Mithril mines. The shopkeeper eyes it up and down. How many of these do you have?
3 on me.
I could take these. I'd price these at each with the weight of these. I'd say they'd be a gem each.
And remind me, a gem. What was that? What's that translate to? Like a breastplate? How many gems does that breastplate cost?
That breastplate would be 4.5 gems.
4.5 gems. All right. And wow. Let's see here. I think And just in.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the breastplate is 4.5 gems, I did that. That would be
If you
okay.
need more of their money, I do have 500 of their gold pieces still remaining.
I have
Yeah,
65 as well.
Yeah. If you could make up the difference on the breastplate, that won't waste any more of our time. I was gonna just go with something with scale mail instead, but and save
Nah,
us some more money for
you
potions.
being
But
alive longer means I take less damage.
oh no, sorry, scale mail is the same like armor class, but it's far cheaper because you get disadvantage on stealth. And I was kind of weighing that option. And I think if I can remain stealthy, we can remain alive longer.
I think I think Roger giving you the extra money so that you're stealthy is actually paying in dividends, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
It's also the bigger insult up front, which works well.
Fair.
Yeah, I'll give you the rest of the money I got from that gem we took out of the ground.
so you spend a gem to, and I'm just using the colloquial term. You spend 100 gold on 2 potions of healing, correct? Or sorry, no, 25. So half of a gem on 2 potions. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I spent 100 on 2 potions of healing, and I'm giving the other 500 to Ulrich.
Got it. Okay.
I
I realized I mistyped with the potion pricing in chat.
So,
I could donate a bow and a short sword to the cause.
No, yeah. So I think with what Ulrich got, and then Roger just gave him basically everything but 100, which is I think you got 600 for the amethyst.
Yep.
Correct.
I've spent
So
like
that
all
means-
but 10 of my necrotic coins at this point. Because I got the
Because
all but 5,
because of
all but
what
5
you gave
for
to
some of
Ulrich.
the
Yeah.
armor. And I guess if I sell my other armor, I would get probably 5 more. So I'll sell my other armor, and I'll have 10 shiny gold coins from this universe.
Oh.
So I will semantic wise correct you. You said we are on a different plane. You're not actually on a different plane. You are currently on the material plane.
Yep.
Mm.
So just to clarify, 500 necrotic coins
Plus the amount you already had,
plus,
which is I think you had
plus three gems is what you said.
Yeah, 3 gems.
And how much? So you said 4.5 gems. How many necrotic coins would be spent in the end here?
So if you're spending your 3 gems, that's 300 coins.
Okay.
And then you can take 150 from Amethyst.
Okay.
And then give the rest back or keep it.
So the breastplate costs 450, not 400.
Because they said it was 4.5 gems. That's
Okay,
450.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So that's all I would need, and the remaining 350 necrotic gems we could just use for potions. Or
I think
anything
it's
else?
450 that is left. Right?
No.
Oh, wait, you used 100. Yeah, you're correct. 350.
Yes, we have 415 because I have 65 that we can use for potions.
I already bought 2 out of my stash.
And so if Roger has 10 more coins, that's 425. So we could buy a bunch of regular potions.
They cost 50 each, but yeah.
But they cost 25 each.
I mistyped as I said it a little bit earlier. It's 50, 250, 20, 25, 100, 25,000.
So if it's 50, we could buy 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 potions that we can put in our respective holding for everybody to use. I think that's more worthwhile money wise.
Why don't we buy 2 for each of us? And then hold on to the money in case we need to buy other things later.
That actually does come out to 8 more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Spend it all.
So we spend 400 necrotic coins. We have. I mean, y'all. What's that?
Will there be 25 left over?
Yeah,
Something
I've got 10 of it. Zippo's got 15 of it.
Yep. Bada bing, bada
And
boom.
I'll add potions to the bag of holding. Unless you want to hold your own potion.
I'm going to hold my own, too.
I trust you guys more with important items than I have, so go ahead and take mine. Just know that the potions are 1 for me, 1 for Brunhild. I didn't get to that. 1 for me, 1 for Brunhild. My dragon dog, who's definitely a dragon.
Are they safe for dogs?
They better be.
Yeah. It's just like giving them a little bit of whiskey. That's perfectly fine. I'm
Fair
joking.
enough.
This is medicinal. It's okay.
Whiskey's medicinal.
Well, you and I use it, yeah.
Tactically, though, it does make more sense to spread the potions out amongst each member of the party because we don't know what's going to happen if we're going to get separated. So
I will hold 2 for Zippo and Brunhild, and then 2 for you. Darvik and Belzian can have 2, and Roger already has 2.
cool.
All right, plus 2 potions. Thank you.
Sorry for the exchange rate being different and that being a little confusing. But, you know, new lands and all.
Mm-hmm.
And at least it's not like every 8 coins equals 1 of something else. It's fairly even. It's just a little bit more complex. I think the hardest part is that they don't want your money.
Yeah.
Those elitist bastards.
I'm used to it.
All right, so shopping is done, at least presumably.
Yeah.
Belzian, Yarvik, you don't have anything that you're looking for, right?
Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, Belzian can't afford anything anyways because he's poor.
Because you give it all away anyway.
He's confident in himself and will not sell himself. Sure.
I don't see any. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just gonna nitpick on things like rations, which I honestly have not been keeping track of. Is it assumed that we have enough food to travel?
As long as you spend 1 gold piece a week, or 1 week of rations a week on traveling. Otherwise, it's just survival checks for foraging for food, which you guys have been doing over the course of the campaign. You've been gathering food as you go. I've noted that a couple times. Obviously, there's been other things that have been at play, so sometimes it's hard to remember that you've done that, but you have. So as long as you continue to do that, you should be fine. If you start feeling the pangs of hunger, you know you haven't, and then you just look for food, right? So
Eat when hungry. It makes sense to me.
it's like our bodies have instructions or something.
I'm gonna need to see my manual then.
Yes, I would
got a
like to
leak
request
somewhere.
a complete copy of the manual.
I'm gonna need.
Yeah, where's my warranty?
Find my mechanic, please.
I'm probably out of warranty at this point.
Yeah, latest update.
I'm pretty sure I'm still in warranty. I need a whole new tune-up. Okay.
Is that what the people asking about our extended warranty are trying to tell us?
I think so.
So, if you're done shopping, I guess the only thing I have left to ask is there anything else that you do in town? Are you going to be talking to Reynard again before you leave? Are you going to kind of get a scope for this elven town at all, or ask around about things? Is there any information you wish to gather before you head
The moment
east?
we finish shopping, Zippo's like, "Dragon time!" and starts walking towards the
Hold
east
up,
direction.
Zippo. I am going to ask, what are friendly places we can stop along the way? I know that we can identify ourselves as friendly. He gestures to the pact symbol on his wrist. But how do we actually find those friendly places?
Okay, so I assume you're going to be going to Reynard for this? Yeah. Okay. Is the rest of the group coming with you, or is it just you go?
They can come with me if they want to.
You guys could do that. Zippo's going to explore around the town and just talk to all the elf people while he's waiting.
I'll keep
And tell
an
them
eye
how
on
excited
Zippo.
he is to go meet dragons.
I'll walk with Zippo.
Okay. Belzian and Yarvik.
Bill's gonna go see the elder.
Yeah, I'll take a trip with the elder. I'm kind of curious.
Okay. I'll start off with the elder and go to Zippo after. Zippo and Ulrich after. You go back to the tree that you're very familiar with at this point, in the center of the village. Reynard is not carving a figurine like he was last time. Instead, he's kind of speaking to several elves, and you're asked to wait until he is done having that talk, and then or meeting, however you'd like to call it. And then as they leave, he gestures the three of you to come forward.
Oh.
Yes. How can I help you? Good morning.
Morning. We're about to head out, and it just occurred to me that we know so little about your lands. How will we be able to find more elven cities or towns along our route to the east? I'm sure we can identify ourselves. And he points to the pact symbol on his wrist, but that won't do us any good unless we can actually find them.
I have already sent word to El Morel, which is the capital of the Elven lands to the east. There will be some members of that city that will be meeting you on the outskirts to the north, closer to the wall. They will show you a way to cross over into Relic without being exposed, as there are patrols patrolling both Elven, Vampire, and Barbarian. The more subtle entrance might be the best. This will be a dangerous passage, but it hasn't been used in some time, so probably not as dangerous as it once was. They'll be able to tell you more, but you should probably take the tree network. You'll be able to move a lot faster and be less seen by, well, our mutual foes, both friend and foe alike. They're... How do I put this? The more people you interact with, the more noise you will make, both in the Elven lands and the Vampire lands. Not all will agree with the pact we have made. Some elves will arrest you on sight and turn you into the vampires for fear of their people being... for fear of repercussions from the vampires. I would tread lightly and be cautious.
How would we identify these allies?
Hmm. Can any of you cast dancing lights?
Not a magical bone in my body.
I'm all out of spells at the moment.
Not in my inventory.
Any of you have a lantern that you can darken and lighten? Like a hooded lantern.
Yeah, I thought the lantern.
Would torches work?
No, because torches cannot be covered so easily. A hooded lantern can.
Yeah, I have one.
When you are near an ally, someone who is of the same pact as you, someone who is an ally of me, your lantern will glow blue. At that point, cover your lantern and uncover it 3 times, and your friends will reveal themselves. Do you have a map?
Something like a map. Our human has it.
Right. Sorry.
He pulls out one of his own. He says, I cannot give this to you. This is it is my map, but and he points out, and I'm gonna draw this on the map. I'll make it like a circle. He draws it here. Actually, let me check my map real quick. Okay. Trying to grab it. Come on. It's so small. I'm just gonna make it big. Alright. So he marks right here. This is where you should be meeting them. The location of Elmerel is due south of that.
Okay.
So I will make a new map point. For Elmerel. Oh. Alright. You'll just have to basically put that in when you see Ulrich next.
Yep. Roger will definitely remember to do that. You also mentioned a tree network. How do we use that? My people don't have that thing where I'm from.
So Sorry, just adjusting that. There we go. Reynard kind of hits himself on the head with the back of his palm, as if to say, duh, to himself. And walks over to one of the branches of the tree and fully takes his hand and fully sweeps the extending branch of leaves, and he takes a pouch out and puts them in, murmurs a few words, and the leaves glow and then fade again. He says, "You should use these. Gormir says that you used tree stride when you were in the lands of Relic. Is that correct?"
We went along, but I think Ire was the one. Either Ire or Gormir was the one to actually cast the spell.
These will allow you to utilize the network. They're basically like keys. So tree stride is built into each leaf. There should be enough here to get you at least part of the way there. You'll note that there is a kind of a break in the forests that separate the west from the eastern forest. You'll have to make your way across the gap at that point.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Is there anything else?
Don't think I have any more questions. Yarvik, Belzy?
Pretty straightforward.
I believe I understand.
Thank you for your time, Master Reynard.
Of course.
Belzian bows.
I wish you luck. May Seren be with you.
And with you,
well.
Wilder. What a nice guy. I like
think
that
you
guy.
say I'm with your spirit now.
All right. So if you guys are good with Reynard, let's go over to Ulrich and Zippo.
Yeah. Zippo's running around on Brynhild, and he'll just like anytime he sees like the elves out just doing something, he'll just go up and just start talking to them. Just go up to like different groups of them, and just different groups of them, and just be like, yeah. You know, we're ready to go meet the dragons. You guys' village is pretty cool. I mean, everything being made out of trees is a total fire hazard when you cook, but you know, I guess you go around.
I think Ulrich mostly just kind of like doesn't stop Zippo from doing any of this, of course, but he is kind of keeping an eye on if anyone is especially interested in any kind of fashion in this information. I mean, you know, I don't think that he would. You know, he might mention in passing to Zippo,
You know, just cause the leaders here seem kind of unfriendly towards the vampires doesn't mean that every elf in this place is gonna be okay with us and with our mission.
Yeah, but they lived in houses made of trees. They don't understand how easy it would be to burn this whole place down.
That's an entirely different thing than what I was saying, but I get where you're going, bud. That's good.
Yeah. And we're friends with that ancient tree who has a bunch of tree friends. We could just get him to make these trees hate them. Problem solved.
That's no, yeah. I don't think that's how it works at all. But you keep on, little guy.
So Zippo has varying levels of reactions from the elves. Some kind of look like they're only half listening to Zippo as they pass. Some seem very interested in what he has to say. But when he mentions dragons, they kind of look a little apprehensive or even fearful. Some seem to be looking at Zippo with hate or perhaps even like desire. And I don't mean desire as in like they're pining for him, like as if they want to do something with the two of you. But when they size both you and him up, they instead decide to continue on. Judging from what you saw last night with the village being raided and every house being routed through looking for either people from another continent or humans that were refugees from the Crowded themselves, and being that you're a human, Ulrich, they're more looking at you in this way than the kobold, but since the kobold is with you, they're kind of eyeing you both as a unit. You get the impression that some people are not happy that you are here and look at you as dangerous.
So, like out of character, those are all valid assumptions. I'm a little mad they don't see Zippo as a threat, but
Oh, they do see you both as a threat, but they see Ulrich as a threat because he's a human, and that puts
tasty.
all of the elves in danger. Yeah.
fair. I thought when you said size up, I thought you meant like they were like, oh, which one looks like they can mess us up more? Like I get Ulrich's a burly man in armor, but I don't even wear armor. I gotta have some kind of cred for that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could take it that way. Knowing Zippo, that seems perfectly in character. But Ulrich, you get the impression that it's because you being human in the Elven lands means that if you're caught, these people will suffer because of it.
Yep.
Zippo also, while he's going around talking to people, like if he sees any animals that are friendly enough with him to let him come up and pet them, he'll go up and pet them. And he'll also introduce every animal to Brunhild.
Okay. So, yeah, so the village itself, you get the impression of unease and tenseness. You see a lot of people are readying for potential conflict. A lot of the normal traffic that a town might have is not there. You see a lot of people training in various areas and clearings in the village. It's not a normal day, if you will. As a note, a lot of the elves are both armed and in armor, as if ready for a moment's notice. The armor is designed to be allow for motion despite heavy armor. And Ulrich, you'll take note from the armor that you're wearing that it feels a lot more like you feel a lot less rigid in it than you did in your previous armor. So this is Elven. What did you get in the end? Was it? It's not. It wasn't plate mail. It was a
breastplate.
Breastplate. Yeah. So the breastplate is like angled in such a way that you have a pretty good range of motion. You can like put your arms all the way up instead of like a T-pose, which is pretty cool.
The armor's great. So
and-
much room for activities.
And you feel like, despite the flexibility that it's not going to affect, like, there's not going to be holes in the armor where, like, somebody could stick through. You know what I mean? It's still protective. You're not sure how they managed to do it. You chalk it up to Elven talent, but there it is. It also has some ornate designs to it that seem to be just genuinely the craftsman's choice. It doesn't seem to have any enchantments on it or anything like that. And you notice details like that throughout the village, even like the normal door to a residence, which, as you'll note, there aren't any solid doors. They're all cloth, like drapings, but they're woven drapings in intricate patterns and details. Some of them even have maybe even kind of comic-like stories of the family, and I don't mean like comic as in funny. I mean like different panels of different memories of a family.
Like a history.
Like a mural.
Yeah, a history quilt, if you will. So as much as Zippo tries to interact with people, as I said, a lot of people kind of skirt around you, and then there are a lot of people that there's not as many people as you might have anticipated running into in the village because of all of this going on, is kind of what I'm getting at.
If I see anybody training,
There,
I'm gonna look at them like, and I'm just gonna watch them for a second. I'm like, you did good, but you could do better, and you know you can.
okay. There's no single person's training. It's usually small groups or larger
it's
groups.
for all of them then.
Okay, fair.
Trust me, guys. I know a lot about combat. I've been through my fair share of battles.
The first time you do this, the sergeant that's drilling the group begins, if some falter, begins instructing them on to not allow distractions to affect your discipline as they go through motions and things like that.
See, I'm helping.
Belzian has expressed or has shown some of the moves that they might be practicing. You've seen him in combat with some of these groups seem to be mimicking the bare hand approach in terms of how they fight.
Punch away all your problems.
There are other groups that are practicing with weapons, but the group that you're talking to is using open palm tactics.
Nice. Yeah, after he gets some like going through with like the distraction talk and everything, I'll look at him and be like, "I got you, buddy. Don't worry." And then I'll walk off with Ulrich to go meet up with the rest of the group.
Okay. I'm helping.
What better way to train than having a Zippo beside you? It makes you forget all of your training.
Are you also listening for conversation at all, or are you just kind of more talking?
Yeah, like if I hear somebody talking and like I feel like the conversation's interesting enough, I might even join in on it.
Okay. You could both give me a perception check if you'd like.
I don't hear anything.
Sorry, something's going on with my computer. I'm just trying to fix it.
Fair. Would you like me to roll for you?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Sorry.
Okay. You hear normal talk, some worrying about potential conflicts, that the vampires were here, and whatnot, but nothing that really catches your interest that you don't already know.
Sounds good.
All right. The group reunites.
Hello, fellows.
Dragons!
Where?
Where we're going. And Zippo will turn towards the way he needs to leave and start walking that way.
Do you even know where we're going?
Hey, Ulrich, I've got a place to mark on our map and a list of instructions.
All right, let's do it.
But
I
first, I'll
didn't
need you.
realize
to hold this
that
leaf and walk
about-
backwards into that tree.
I think you guys talked over each other for a second there.
Oh, I was just saying I didn't know you were gonna go, and then he says the leaf thing, and I go,
Sorry, Roger. Could you explain that one to me? Or what's gonna happen? Like,
Well, you can try walking into the tree without the leaf.
all right.
Please
it just,
do.
it just won't do the same
mean,
thing
I-
as when the elves pulled us 500 miles to the south.
Oh,
you weren't with
damn,
us
you
on that
got
trip.
one. No, but I heard what you. Well, no, I had to. I think we did one more jump after I got there. I might be wrong.
No.
Nope, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It's been a few days here, but Jordan was telling me about it, and y'all told me a little bit about it as well.
Yeah, the elder gave us a bunch of leaves we can use to cover a big portion of the distance. Here, pull out the globe and I'll mark where we need to go.
yeah. Those maps. Yeah.
Ooh, we're losing you,
Oh
Ulrich.
no, robot time.
Oh,
There was some
weird.
bleep, loops, and blops.
It's fixed right now.
I don't know why
it's
that would
body.
be.
Oh, you're back.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
well,
good now.
I was just saying I have the globe. I also have maps from the Goliath clans.
Right.
Well, we can use the maps from the Goliath clans if they are maps of Necrata.
So he pulls out the map of
Yeah.
Necrata, and it's heavily marked up by a familiar handwriting.
My handwriting, yes.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, I that map might have some borders. I don't know how accurate does that map look. We can compare it to the globe.
It has just
maybe.
basically the forests, which the globe actually doesn't really have. So the globe has the river, and then your map has the forests that are close to the
Okay.
wall.
We mark it on both to the best of my abilities.
Okay. So you estimate that it's about here. Elmorel happens to be pretty much in the area that you circled for where an elven city was.
Yep.
You got
I
lucky.
mean, or I've traveled my own land enough to kind of know where resources might be and things like that. in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're so intelligent and or wise.
And handsome. Don't forget about that.
How could we?
Look at this.
Look
He
at
puts he puts cities on all of the rivers. So intelligent.
Don't you know about the river elves? That's right. Don't you know about the river elves? No, that was me telling them there's like merfolk and things like that.
Yes, with the elves who famously stay to the forests all of the time, and the vampires who literally can't cross running water.
Yep,
What about
that's
walking
right.
water?
I've never seen walking
Um,
water. Well, actually, that's not true. We have seen walking water. We helped Zippo get it out of the city.
There you go. Yep.
I assume you
his
wouldn't
name is
want to
Atlan.
cross him, though. He was pretty big.
Hmm.
He's my best friend.
Glad he's on our side, or at least
Amazing.
yours.
All right. So the tree network is something that you've actually heard of before. Ire, when she was explaining the travel that you were about to do up north, said that this is how they traveled in the Elven lands, and they had a whole network of trees, which kind of acted as roads through the forest at a quicker pace, which basically allowed them to get behind their enemy without their enemy being able to tell that they were there. There will, based on how you interacted with the trees before, a tree that you were able to utilize a leaf for would glow or shimmer as you were holding the leaf and you were able to step through. So rather than somebody casting a spell and you using the leaf as a somatic component, the leaf is basically like a scroll. Each time you use the leaf, you'll be able to do tree stride to go to the next one in the chain, and we can go through that. Reynard also stated when he was explaining this to you that the tree network doesn't enter any village, so it'll be on the outskirts of Aurora, and it doesn't necessarily go in a straight line, but because that's not how nature works, but it should get you in the general direction that you're trying to go.
Sounds good enough to me.
I will also say that you, Brunhild, as long as she is being held by Zippo, should be able to get through as part of Zippo. Basically, if Zippo is riding Brunhild, they'll count as one medium creature. You're not sure how that works, and you can try and experiment with that if you'd like, but
Brunhild's a dragon, and
there
she
could be
decides
some
what she wants.
consequences.
That's my head canon. That's what I'm going with for it right now.
All right, so I'm assuming you guys are leaving the village at this point?
Yeah, dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, then as we leave the village, let's go on a 10-minute break. It's about that time.
Stay tuned.
All right, we'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial.
And we are back from our break. Welcome back. The party is heading eastward from the village of Aurora, and we are heading toward bigger and better things, I suppose. Roger, since you were given the bag, you see that the bag is chock full of leaves. They seem to be of the maple variety. So it seems like the tree network is made out of maple trees.
Is this pandering? I like it.
Let's go make. Well, let's go make some syrup.
How exactly do you make syrup?
Now listen, hold on now.
Well,
Hold on.
first you have to get real friendly with the trees.
First, you burn all the trees down, and then you take all the burnt down trees, mix them all together in a pond, right? And then you pour some like acid and some mayonnaise in there, and you mix it up for a little bit. Then you let it set for 47 years. And then after the 47 years is over, another tree will grow, and it'll be just made out of pure maple or pure syrup.
So, just to make sure, Yarvik, you're still good for cooking for us usually, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Right.
I'm enwrapped with awe at the maple syrup making methods. Pretty different from what we used to use back home. So I say we try the explosive mayo, That
Hey,
sounds neat.
Roger, would you like to take over our cooking duties? Maybe. just trying to get someone who maybe doesn't want to burn down a bunch of trees for our food.
Sure, I've got a couple thousand ball bearings that I've been needing to get rid of.
They add that crunch.
Maybe it's not too late to get gourmet.
You need some more iron in your diet.
Is Gourmet a gourmet?
I heard he has good berries.
I hear he's fairly good with knives. Says the DM, not any character in particular.
Who the hell was that?
Did you hear something?
I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Now, dragons! And Zippo will start walking that way.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take the tree.
We got trees. now.
With Zippo in the lead, he charges right past a tree that begins to glow in front of you, Roger.
All right, boy, guys, this tree, it is glowing.
Since you're currently the only one holding the leaf pouch and a leaf, you're the only one that sees it at the moment.
All right,
You
you guys remember how we did this, right?
We hold hands and leaves and go through.
Yep. Make sure the big guy's not last.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
it'd be a shame to
Magic
leave me behind.
We're heading to the east. Everybody's hands joined up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And step into the tree.
Okay. So Roger, holding the leaf, steps into the maple tree and is pulled into the tree. And as his other hand who's holding Roger's hand?
I've known him
Who's
the
the next
longest.
person?
I'll hold his hand.
Okay,
We're
With
lined
so,
up,
hands.
we're lined up in order of height or something. We don't.
I was hoping you'd finally
Rogers?
notice.
Roger, when he steps through the tree, you feel kind of like a pull at you, a very familiar pull actually, since you've done this a few times before. But it's a little different this time. It seems like instead of following the lead of somebody else, you are being pulled into a specific direction as if a destination was chosen for you. As if this tree is used to sending people to a identical tree elsewhere. You also feel that your right hand is let go of as you are pulled through. Ulrich, what happens with you is, as Roger is pulled through the tree, and his hand that you're holding gets pulled in, your hand does not pass into the tree, and so you are forced to let go as he is pulled into the tree and disappears.
Well, son of a bitch.
Well,
Being that none of you have leaves, Roger, you appear on the other side of the tree alone, with perhaps with an empty wood around you. Though you smell, maybe you smell the wood burning smell, like maybe somebody nearby is cooking over a campfire, perhaps. It's faint.
I'm gonna reach out via the rings of communication to see if I can talk to anybody in the party.
You can so you can try that, and you what do you say?
Over the rings. Hey, where are you guys? Ulrich, why'd you let go?
Are we able to hear this?
Yeah, that's a good point. So the rest of the group, you can, or unless you're directing it specifically at Ulrich, the rest of the group can hear the message.
I didn't let go.
buddy, we don't have leaves. You didn't give us any.
apparently I'm less than a mile away from you.
That
Well,
wasn't a very big jump.
Yeah.
jog back, use the tree again. I don't know how this works, but
That's not supposed to happen. Pretty sure we're supposed to go much further.
Yeah, it seems like the leaf you used was for one person only.
Is the leaf still there, or was it consumed by the trip?
It was consumed by the trip.
How many leaves do we have?
Looking into your bag, an estimate brings you around 50 leaves.
So we get 10 jumps.
You don't think you can just up and leave us like that, can you? Get back over here.
I'm gonna try and figure out which direction the village is in and walk in that direction.
Okay.
I'm not taking the tree back. We have a limited number of leaves. I'm less than a mile away.
That's fair.
Can't be that bad. We'll just stay in conversation, and if I get out of range, I'll turn around and walk exactly the opposite direction.
So give me a survival check just to make sure you've got the direction right. Or a general sense.
10.
Okay. That seems fairly doable. And you walk due west. And depending on are you going at a quick pace, trying to rush back?
It's less than a mile away. Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
all right. So you take a. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I watched the orb to make sure. No, I guess maybe it's probably just one dot still, since he's less than a mile away.
It's still one
yeah,
dot.
Yeah.
So you take a leisurely stroll through this ancient forest, and for the first time feel kind of a peacefulness come over you. You're alone for the first time in months. You're in the woods of your kind, or the forests of your kind, and the air just feels clear. With aside from the wood burning smell every once in a while that seems to pass by, but presumably from either somebody cooking or something in the nearby. And since you're near a village, makes sense to me, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go what I feel like is about 10 minutes, and if I haven't seen anything about the village in 10 minutes, I'm gonna pick the party again.
Okay. After 10 minutes, you haven't hit the village or the party yet.
Have I lost communication with them?
No.
All right. Well, that means so 10 minutes is about half a mile. So if I still have communication with you, I'm probably still going the right direction. Yep. Just gonna keep walking.
You want us to meet you
Okay.
halfway or anything?
Oh, we don't know for sure what direction I'm in.
After another 5 or 7 or so minutes, you reach the southern edge of the town of Aurora. Seems you kind of went a little south east when you popped through the tree. So going directly west back brought you lower to the town than where you left it.
All right. Well, we'll go meet up with the party again.
Okay.
Looks like
You retrace your steps back up.
each of us have to hold a leaf, so I will distribute the leaves among the party.
Okay.
All right.
All right, no holding hands this time. Are we ready?
Let's go.
Does everybody have their leaf?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, stepping back through the tree.
feel like we're still sort of
Okay.
held hands.
Each of you steps through the tree, and it almost feels like when you stride through the tree, the next step you take is just like a normal step. It's just hundreds of feet in a different area. It's not quite the rush that you were feeling, the wild feeling that you were feeling traveling through trees up in Relic. This seems a lot less of a gut-wrenching feeling. You're not sure if the magic's a little bit smoother because it's so worn and well used, or because the forests are in a different area, or whatnot, but this magic feels slightly different than the one that you used when you were hurrying through Relic days earlier. Just like Roger, a familiar smell of burning wood seems to proliferate the area that you pop into.
Is the forest on fire?
Yeah, Bo, did you set any fires recently?
I did not do it, promise.
Can we tell what direction the smell's coming from?
There seems to be a breeze coming from a northern to southern direction, maybe even north to south west.
Do we see any more maple trees around here?
Are you holding a leaf as you look or no?
Yes.
Okay. You see 3 other maple trees. One directly ahead of you, one more south of that one, and one more south of that. They seem to be in a semicircle opposite the tree that you're at. So it's almost like it almost is a perfectly round circle. It looks like there's a stone in the middle where one might sit. And then there's 3 trees. Basically, if you include the tree that you just stepped through, there's 4 trees in kind of a one for each point of the compass: north, south, east, west.
Well, let's go. Keep going.
Yeah.
We're
Go
taking the
sleep.
east tree.
Yep.
Okay.
Through the east tree.
The feeling is somewhat stronger of a pull as each of you step through this tree. This tree sends you much farther east. When Ulrich, you check your globe, you see that you've traveled more than a day east from where you were. It would seem like the first tree was kind of staging you up into the highway, and then the highway itself is now what you're utilizing. This area, you only spot one other maple ahead of you. It seems like maybe the reason that it's spaced this way is limitations, or maybe strategically there's something around here that's worth checking out. Either way, this is where you are.
Well, are you guys interested in checking things out around here, or should we just continue on?
I mean,
I am a big fan of dragons.
I'm certainly interested in seeing what's about, but I don't want to betray any trusts that we have. Like, you know, I don't know what the property rights are. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like we
Yeah.
need to just go as fast as we can to get out of here.
I've gotten the impression that in Necrata, people are property and the rights are limited if present at all.
Fair, yeah. It seems like a astute observation.
Let's go through the next one.
I wonder if the vampires use the tree network.
Probably not.
Roger, the smell that you were smelling earlier seems stronger here.
Does anybody else smell it?
Yes.
Okay.
If you point it out,
Yeah,
other people will
absolutely.
notice. But with your passive, you're picking it up.
And it smells like burning wood.
Mm-hmm.
Can we see the sky from here, or is the forest too thick?
Forest is too thick.
Hey, Belzian.
Hello.
Can you do me a favor and climb up one of these trees and look on the horizon?
Certainly. I would like to climb up a tree and take a peek. See if there's any smoke in the sky or anything like that. Anything suspect.
Okay, Belzian, you know what I'm gonna say, right?
You're gonna say, yeah.
Give me a climb check, athletics check.
He's actually good at climbing, though.
Oh no. Okay, that's not good. Sometime this last weekend, my computer decided that the graphics card is no longer recognized.
Oh.
So rolling
Oh no.
is going very slowly.
You can disable the dice.
You can.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
for the future.
Thank you. 10.
Okay. You kind of claw your way up the tree. And you look out in the surrounding. It's kind of foggy out from where you are, so you're not able to see a lot. But from up here, you definitely smell that wood burning smell. It's kind of strong. And but it's so hazy. It's kind of hard to tell where that smoke might be coming from that you're smelling. It just seems to be all around you in terms of smoke.
Would it be similar to when the bandit camp went up in flames?
Thinking back, there was a certain haze about when the forest caught on fire, when the wind pushed the smoke down. So it would make sense that you're smelling so much smoke if it was a large fire. In fact, the haze might actually be attributing to that smoke in some way.
Interesting.
Just to clarify, what direction does it seem to be coming from?
So the wind was blowing in a north to southwest direction in the last place you were at, but here the air is still, and the smoke smell seems to be all around you, but with the air not moving, you're not sure where it's coming from.
Okay.
And it seems to be hazy, so Belzian can't really see a direction of this haze.
It's hazy and stinky everywhere.
I would think the elves would be concerned about this.
Maybe the elves did it.
Maybe they're being invaded. Or the vampires did it.
Or maybe they just decided to set a forest on fire. I mean, not like we have any experience with that or anything.
Maybe they also realized that having a house made of a tree and trying to cook is not a good idea.
I think it's more likely barbarians have invaded and lit the forest on fire. But it's also very possible because this is close to where we crossed when Ulrich destroyed that scrying stone that they'd snuck into his gear.
True, true.
So looking at the map, where you crossed was up here.
Yeah, but that's still close.
Okay.
On a forest fire scale, 20 miles is nothing.
Yeah, I think we should make one more jump, and then if if it's not stronger, if it's faded, I think we should go back.
I think if it is stronger, we should go back. I think if it's faded, then it's probably something minor, and the elves can deal with it. But if we jump another 20 miles and it's worse, then maybe we should let them know.
So either way, we're potentially gonna go back after we go forward.
Seems low.
We have enough leaves to make that many trips. I counted about 50, so that's enough for 10 jumps for the group.
And we could probably get more if we have to go back all the way. I don't know. I don't know what the, value of these are, but
Yeah.
I suppose.
All right. So
Sorry.
go ahead.
I suppose that the place we might be going to might not be there anymore.
Well, we're not close to it. We've got a long ways to go yet.
Yeah, it's at least like 20 days away.
Raynard is just trying to save us some time.
Yeah.
I was almost exact. It's 19 days away.
Good job. This is a test. Okay, that's much better.
Now we
yeah.
go to-
Let's go one more and see. Maybe with a little more information, we could decide whether to press on or go back and warn them about stuff being on fire.
If it is fire, or if it just smells like fire. Let's investigate.
All right. You queue up and enter the tree again. Correct?
We're gonna enter the tree to the west.
Yeah.
To the east?
The east, yeah, the east.
Okay, all right.
East
To the
tree
right.
time.
All right. As each of you steps out of the tree, you take 3 points of damage as you step into, a forest fire. The trees around you are blazing. You see light up ahead, maybe about 50 feet, but the whole area around you is on fire. The stench of burning wood and pitch is quite strong, and you can hear the screams of animals fleeing the fire, as well as shouts up ahead.
well,
All right. Oric, you do not want to be found by anybody that happens to have been setting elven settlements on fire.
Probably not.
Do we make a break for that tree? Or do we head back?
We make a break for it.
Yeah.
Can we help any of these people evacuate?
They got it.
We don't even know who they are.
I mean, yeah,
Worry
it's
about it if it comes to that.
right. That's
So,
my worries.
You guys are having a great conversation here, but the area around you is on fire.
We're gonna walk and talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't stand in the fire while we'll.
So, but if you're choosing to go back here, then walking and talking isn't really what you're doing, right? So
I don't think we're choosing to go back.
I think we're going forward.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay. So you do see a maple engulfed in flames, which presumably would be directly across from the tree that you've exited. It does not glow. Well, it is glowing, but it is glowing with the embers of it completely ablaze. It's too hot to even approach. You can either choose to go back before your tree catches on fire, which it is thoroughly on fire at this point, which is why it burned you while you were going through, or you can head toward the light, and it's daylight up ahead. It's not like the glow of fire.
It is definitely too late to go back. Okay, I have a
Forward.
yeah. Let's go forward.
Yarvik's just going to take
Okay.
off towards the light.
Let's get out of here with haste.
He's been
I
through
like
forest
fire.
fires before. He's not comfortable in this situation. He's getting out.
All right. In order to get through this fire unscathed, I'd like you all to take either athletics or acrobatics checks to try and get out of the fire or jump over the fire.
Question: how's is the wind blowing the fire around us?
There is quite a gust of wind, presumably from the change in heat and whatnot. It's
Okay,
causing.
So I have the
a
storm
rush
guide
of wind,
ability,
yes.
which lets me, if it's windy, you can choose the direction the wind blows in a 100-foot radius to be
Okay.
centered on you. Can I force it to where the wind blows the fire away from us?
Well, you can blow it so that the flames aren't pointed directly at you, but they're still going to be burning on the things that are in front of you that you're trying to jump or move away from. If that makes sense.
Also,
Like, between you and the clearing ahead is burning debris and wood. So you either need to jump over it or dodge around it to kind of go unscathed through it. The wind will keep it from blowing into your face, but it's not going to keep you from getting burned. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
it's also going to
Gotcha.
add air to the fire. So yeah, wind
If
is
you
bad.
wanted to make the
Wind
fire
is bad
bigger,
for forest fire.
I could make the fire bigger.
but it's
Okay.
it's good for the forest
Ah.
fire. It's bad for everyone in the forest fire.
True.
Yeah.
Also, the hot stuff is going to be the coals, the things that are already at burning temperature. The wind's not going to change that much.
Okay, so anybody who gets below a 15, you're going to take another d6 of fire damage.
Fire damage.
16.
Nice.
So another 4. For Zippo, at least.
Yeah, I'm not very athletic.
Yeah, Zippo tries to jump over the fire and just, with his short legs, doesn't really make it. Can you do one for Brunhild too, please?
Yeah, with the purple stat block.
Take account that Brunhild got 3 from coming through the tree.
Oh no.
Okay, so she'll take another
She
4.
dies.
She's
She
dead?
dies.
What? Wait, a knockout or outright death?
Outright death.
How much damage?
What was
How
she
much
at?
She had 5 HP total. Like she only has 5 HP. So she took 3 and then another 4. That's 7. And
That's yeah. No, sorry. That's so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry for your loss.
Dogs have 9 lives, don't they?
No.
Oh,
So, I guess the important thing here is if Brunhild was burned the first time, do you do anything before you send her through the fire the second time?
the only thing I can think to try is can I prestidigitation says I can instantaneously light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. Would the fire that she has to go over, like just that area, count as a small campfire? If I just try to focus on the area that she's walking over or jumping over?
Hmm. I'll allow it.
And
Yeah.
then seeing Zippo do that, can Ulrich help and grab Brunhild?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think that Zippo in the panic would necessarily say, Brunhild jumped through the fire when you also got burnt, right?
Yeah,
Knowing how low hit points that she has. So I'm giving you this based on the fact that you're careful about Brunhild. You wouldn't necessarily do that, but just be careful in the future so that we don't, because I'm not always going to be as liberal with this, right? So we'll want to make sure that
Next
we
time
take care
I'm
of
putting
her
her
in
in the
some way.
little bag.
Yeah, fair. That's another thing you could have
I
done.
forgot I
So,
had that. I gotta put that on my character sheet.
All right, so Ulrich, you're grabbing Brunhild and doing a strength check.
Yeah, for like the next hops.
Okay. I would say with your athletics of 19 that you could scoop her up and carry her with you.
Okay.
Because even with, oh, you know what? Give me another roll.
Sure.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. 27.
Okay, so I put you at disadvantage. Because you're carrying a dog.
Yep, it makes sense.
19 is your disadvantage.
Okay.
So you're good. If you did fail, then you would be taking the damage, not her, because you were
course.
keeping her above the flames.
Right, of course.
So yeah, this is just something that we might want to invest in. Brunhild is maybe trying to get her more hit points, or we just need to make sure we're more careful. I'm glad nobody has targeted her in the past to attack, because that would have been
Oh,
horrible.
their whole family would have died if she died. Like Zippo would have a crusade. That's all I can say. Now I'm putting down every one of her stats, so I don't have to look on her stat block out.
Do you have, you can put her in as an extra? There's like a section for pets.
Yeah, there's in extras there's so for example with Ulrich had his warhorse in there, and then when you click on warhorse, it gives all the stats, and you can do the rolls and everything like that based on that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a nice little handy feature. All right, so you all jump out of the burning forest and into the blinding sunlight. As your eyes adjust and you rub the smoke from your eyes and the ash, you hear sounds of conflict south of you, but what you see is a span of maybe a mile's worth of forest that has been not... I can't say the word cleared, because cleared sounds like a lumberjack came and chopped down the forest. The trees have been felled all in it. So the trees all are fallen but not cleared. They're bent over as if pushed over by some great beast, and all the trees point south. The the trees that are laying down, some are damaged, some are still burning. There's ash everywhere, and you can see what looks like giant war beasts with great ears, gray, thick skin, with, it seems like, constructs, and by constructs I mean like constructed fortifications built on top of them that some humanoids are riding. They have great tusks that are erupting from their fronts, multiple sets of them with things tied to them that seem to look like battering rams and whatnot that go across them. And it seems like these structures are what is causing the trees to be knocked over. You smell blood and you see slain elves amongst the rubble of the trees and the forest. You see some Goliaths also walking south, although they have not spotted you, that are passing by the group, kind of stabbing at carcasses that lay on the ground of elves, making sure that they're dead. You also see smaller humanoids that have long, elongated teeth that stick out protrude from their mouths in a similar tusk-like fashion to the great beasts that are tearing down the forests more south.
I know Orcish. Would I recognize them as such?
They seem to maybe be of the orc family, but they aren't orcs, so maybe they're half orc.
Okay.
Although some are more solid skinned and solid complexion, so some of them may be full orc. That orangish brown skin that an orc might have.
Well, folks, sounds like we found the Tusk clan.
This is certainly not the welcoming party I was expecting.
I honestly do not think our plan of peace is going to work out very well.
Maybe not with these guys.
Fair.
Probably not.
So
with
we know
the
for
dead
sure
guys
that
on the ground either.
these guys, some elves, and the Axe clan, and probably the Rock clan, are not big fans of teamwork or friendship with other places. So we're just gonna have to pray that the two dragon clans and whatever other clans we can find, actually decide, oh yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. And hope their dream isn't world domination.
I mean, yeah, but in the short term here, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna join this fray? Or are we gonna try? I mean, our tree is shot.
There's no way we're getting back now.
Getting involved in this fray does not help us further our mission and is only going to serve to get us into a fight that we're not equipped to handle.
Which means I need you, Yarvik, as our ranger to find a way out of this. You know woods better than any of us.
Yeah, so my suggestion is let's skirt as far south as we can. These guys are north of us, correct?
They're heading
No,
south.
they're south of you.
They're heading south. Okay, so they're cutting across our path.
Yes.
Yes.
And the fire is to our back.
Yes.
Fire.
And it seems like on the other edge of this created clearing as well.
How big is this war party?
You count at least 8 war beasts in the line that is to the south of you. There has to be at least 4 or 5 people riding on each. And then the different clansmen that are kind of picking through the battlefield are kind of dotting the area. There could be another 20 or so there.
I mean,
There's only a few to the north of you. They're mostly to the south.
How wide is
or perpendicular?
How
to
wide
you.
is the clearing?
The clearing itself, it seems like at least 800 to 1,000 feet wide.
and then also remind me the pact we made only commits us to getting the wall up, right? It doesn't commit us to like protecting elves or something like that.
It's not even getting the wall up. As Reynard said before, there is no going back.
Right.
The wall can't be created again.
It's just
So you're trying to parlay with the leadership, the ultimate leadership of each country.
Specifically, all we have to do is reach the leadership and ask them the question, have you considered peace? we've got to make an earnest attempt, and we do have to talk to them. We don't have to help anybody out in between. And getting killed in the meantime sounds like a bad way to do that.
Agreed.
Yeah, in fact, helping everybody along the way might actually be counterintuitive to your mission, right?
Yeah.
So the pact was as simple as it could be for the purposes of what it was.
Right. I just wanted to make sure we wouldn't like somehow mess ourselves over if we didn't stop and try and do something here.
Yeah, Fey pacts are historically wrought with like clauses and catches that will screw you over if you don't do things a certain way or hop up and down 3 times. This seemed to be fairly direct without any tricks. And that might be because of the direness of the mission.
Yep.
Or maybe the stories are wrong.
How close to the edges of this cleared area are the Goliaths and the Tusk creatures getting? Are they mostly staying towards the center, or are they fanning out pretty wide?
They aren't. No two of them are together. They're all kind of picking through, making sure that if anybody's they see, they're kind of hacking at them to make sure that they're dead and not playing dead. Taking no prisoners.
They're being extremely thorough. So
Yes.
they want there to be no warning signal sent ahead.
Aside from the great pillars of smoke that are rising above.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
say we retreat back to the forest to the west,
We
stealth up,
can't.
not
The
far enough,
trees-
not far enough to get on fire. A couple 100 yards back up, stealth up, wait these guys out until nightfall, and then try to cross at night. Stealth and darkness are going to be our friend.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it might be our
If
best bet.
is there forest behind us that's not on fire?
Not really.
Oh, never mind then.
Okay, so then north is the best option. So farther away from the body of this war party, distance is safe. So
Let's try and skirt around the north of them.
Okay. I assume you're trying to be stealthful, correct?
Oh yeah.
Make sure nothing adjacent to you can see you. Atomic, you'll be rolling at disadvantage because you are in broad daylight. However, with the smoke of the fires, you all have advantage. So, Atomic, you are rolling at a flat roll. So go ahead and roll stealth, everyone.
Well, I'm rolling a disadvantage. Person.
So
What is that?
isn't it?
Perception?
Oh wait, no,
Force
that's for
perception,
perception.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Never mind then. You're good. You'll also have advantage.
16.
Thank God for advantage.
Woo!
Zippo got 16. Ulrich got 23. Belzian only rolled once.
Oops.
Roger got 25. Jaeger got 22 and only rolled once.
1 second.
So 25. For Belzian.
19 for Burnhild.
Nice. Very nice. And Jaeger doesn't really need to roll again with the 22. That's fine, but it's always nice to see if somebody crits or not. Careful, Benji. Almost fell off his box. All right, so you kind of skirt the blaze and the clearing by kind of hiding in the rubble or along the rubble as you creep as a party northward, doing your best to stifle any coughs from inhaling any of the fumes from the fire or the smoke from the fire. Some of the fire in certain patches are still burning because pitch was used to start the blaze. You can see the black tar that kind of has been applied liberally to certain trees along the edge of this area. So it seems like the great creatures that now they kind of resemble elephants, but they're bigger than elephants and have more horns and things like that. And I can say that because there are elephants in Seregen. I think we might have even mentioned an elephant in the menagerie all those months ago. I don't remember if we had one there or
It was
not.
definitely discussed.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to buy it, but I didn't have enough money, and it was also very big.
So these look like elephants, but they are much larger, which makes sense. They're from Relic, right? Everything's larger in Relic, apparently. But they seem to be even more monstrous than that, with the multiple tusks and the strength that they have to push down these great trees. So, after a tense few moments, you feel safely away from the soldiers that seem to be patrolling nearby you. The bulk of the group is to your backs to the south. There doesn't seem to be any soldiers nearby, but there could be some that come back. There could be more that come later. The fires are along the entire passage so far that they've created in this forest.
Time is it?
It's still around noon-ish. It has you really haven't left Aurora that long ago. It was maybe an hour ago at most.
We got plenty of time.
That's my concern. We have plenty of time. I was hoping Nightfall would get here a little faster.
I really don't want it to be nighttime, actually. We want to be holed up at night here. Vampires can fly.
Vampires are a concern, definitely, but the biggest immediate 3-foot world concern for us right now is the one that's in front of us. So we definitely want to take precautions for the vampires. Absolutely. But we got to get through the short term to get to the long term. I mean, if you think if you want to try to cross now, we can try to cross now, but is the forest on the other side on fire? All right, I think I remember you saying something about that.
Yes.
So even if we get across, we still got to punch through another forest fire. So we could keep moving north, closer to where the wall used to be, skirt the forest entirely. That's quite a trip, though.
They said it was being patrolled by all sides. I don't fancy our chances going south here either. Ulrich, what's the nearest thing to here that you pointed out to the Axe Clan on your map?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you know, I've obviously got the marked up map, and I'm just trying to think of what it was.
I think I might have said that, like, this coast over here is gonna be. So, I don't remember exactly what bullshit I fed him. I gotta be honest.
So you have a circled area south of here, several days south. Though you said that there was an elven city there.
Right, but like I don't think other than I mean I'll
You know, I think I just said there was a city here, but you know, they shouldn't be going off of. I mean, they don't even have this map, so.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't feel like we have a real choice here. It's go north and around or wait. And waiting doesn't accomplish anything. These forest fires are going to take a long time to burn out.
Hey, would we rather face any potential patrols or the monsters on the battlefield?
Feel like waiting brings us a high chance of them coming back to get rest or bringing more troops, and also running into vampires who could have who knows how many troops on standby. So I feel like we take our chance with the patrols, because if you're sending out a patrol, you're probably only going to send out max like 10 people, maybe even 5. I don't see them sending out like a full army just to patrol, because it's probably just going to be made up
two
of
or
elves.
three.
Yeah,
Enough,
it's probably going to be made up of elves anyway. Maybe one vampire, like knight or whatever they have. So I'm gonna assume that we could take down or befriend the elves, depending on who the elves are and stuff. So I feel like we have a better chance winning against a patrol than we do against waiting or anything like that. So I'm gonna say we take the north route and just risk running into a patrol.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. We'll have to. We'll want to get out of sight if we're spending the night out here, but I think we can manage that.
All right.
Perhaps
That's
we'll
what we're
find
doing.
part
Then
of
that's what we're doing.
I like it.
Let's go.
Okay. So you continue heading north at your slow pace while you're trying to stealth, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky, sneaky.
All right. So you continue north and see more evidence of maybe a skirmish or battle earlier on in the travel. You see a lot of elves and Goliaths and Tusk that are all like laying on the battlefield, dead. The farther north you go as the day progresses, the lower the fires are burning. Obviously the areas where the pitch are still burning and marking kind of the edge of where this scar, if you will, in the forest has started. You theorize you could probably pick your way through the western or eastern side of this scar now and be relatively safe from being injured.
Have we encountered any more patrol or more war bands coming down, or is that the only?
Not at this moment.
Let's cross now. We don't have to go into the woods on the other side, but let's at least get to the other side. We
Yeah,
don't see-
sounds good to me.
Do we see any more coming from the north?
Give me a perception check.
Sure.
And since you asked, I'm asking you for that.
24.
You see no patrols heading your way from the ground.
See any giant birds in the air?
No. But good thinking.
Let's cross. Coast seems to be clear.
Yep.
All right. You begin to creep across the scar, winding your way around debris and whatnot, trying to take the path of least resistance. You see the great footprints of the elephants. Zippo, you kind of hop down into one of the imprints and then have to kind of hop back out of one as the muddy ground has sunk in some from these great beasts. You fit inside the footprint, so you kind of shudder a little bit at the thought of one of these beasts being able to step on you entirely just by walking.
It's scary.
The party
but it's
reaches-
fun scary.
Right, yeah. The party reaches the other side of this scar, seemingly without being spotted.
Well, shit. If that's going on here, I hope that Jordan. I hope Jordan somehow got them all prepped in time.
Them? Do you mean everybody in Seregen?
I mean, whatever's going to pass for our military government in Seregen, yeah.
Hmm. Well, we don't know if these Goliath folks have made it over to Seregen yet. Looks like they're a little occupied here.
I wouldn't put it past them to be doing a war on two fronts.
Ulrich, give me a history check.
Yep, just 1 second. Sorry, I had to break up a couple of cats.
You're fine. No.
All right, history. There you go. 16.
The movement here tracks with what you observed while you were at Orban's fortress. You recall there were great numbers of Goliaths being sent southeast.
Yep.
From what you observed from the fortress that you were at, you saw no evidence of anyone heading west.
Yeah.
Aside from some parties of 12 patrols just patrolling the area and making sure the borders were safe. But that's only one of the 11 fortresses that you know of in
Right.
the mountains.
Yeah, that's my concern.
And obviously, right, yeah. But I will give you what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
So
And I kind of convey that exact point that, you know, I saw.
I saw they were clearly going to be coming this way, but there's more of them. So heading west is it's a real possibility.
Oh no.
We can only hope that we don't run into any more till we get to a friendly clan.
If any of them are friendly.
True.
okay, so biggest question now. Now that you're on the other side of the scar, do you head north still, or do you go back into the forest?
It's no longer on fire, right?
It's kind of smoking, but it's no longer actively on fire here at the edge. And in the trees, there's husks of trees, but this is live wood. The underbrush burns some. It hasn't gone too far into the forest from where it is.
I'm comfortable stepping back into the forest if it looks like we could do it safely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we would be seeking a maple tree
Yep.
or any other tree dwarf tree.
Okay. Is everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, hi Benji. All of a sudden, a giant cat appears,
We
and
tame
then
it,
as
equip
quickly
it with
goes
machine guns, and capture
goes
her.
away. Yeah, the cat left as quickly as it came. I don't even know why it showed up. It's a mystery. Yeah, he just came in front of me, said hi, and then left.
So,
Anyway, all right. So you pick your way into the forest, avoiding some of the more dangerous-looking areas or trees that might fall. And begin walking through the forest anew. With the imagery not leaving your memory for quite some time. Ulrich, I would say, and Roger, that the imagery that you just saw is reminiscent of some of the War of Three Brothers, and this probably has left you quite unsettled. It might bring back old wounds if that's something that your character is holding on to.
Yeah, I think Ulrich would be very upset, and also thinking about just the War of the Three Brothers, old wounds, and things we're holding on to. Ulrich dumps out Shadow's head.
Okay.
No,
Just
our
unceremoniously onto the
trophy.
ground.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
I think you dropped something there, Ulrich.
Yeah, well, seems like a good place for it.
It's okay. It's getting a little gamey anyway.
Yeah, he
It-
kicks it off and towards the flames, back that direction.
Yeah, doubt we're going to need to prove that one at any point in the future.
That's right.
Let me let Benji out 1 sec.
Well, Ain't this just peachy?
All right, I'm back. All right, Ulrich, you leave the head behind and gain an inspiration, and the party moves forward.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys are looking for another maple, or at least a maple that will glow to the touch of a leaf, correct?
Yeah.
All right. How are you going to try and needle haystack this? Like, what's your strategy?
I mean,
Does anybody have any ideas?
I have an idea. We can walk out of the part of the forest that has that has stuff that's burnt, holding a leaf. See if when we get close to a tree, if it glows. I mean, are the maples particularly dense here?
No.
Yeah. So if we see a maple off in the distance, we go check it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's like we're scanning the trees like TSA at an airport with a metal detector or whatever. See which one.
No, it's like the QR code menus at restaurants during the pandemic. Like no, it's not reading. Hold up.
Can I do a nature check to see if we can kind of expedite that a little bit?
Yeah. All right, with an 11, I'm going to give you a couple things here. Obviously, maple means acorn. So, even if you don't see a maple, if you see acorns in the area, you might know a maple is close by. You also know that you traveled north quite a bit before you went back into the forest. So, judging on that, you might want to spread out your search or look further south from where you are.
I suggest that we head southeast, kind of split the difference, still make forward progress, and then get to a more maple-rich environment.
And based on what you know from this tree network already, you know that there's a main network which you were traveling along, but there were also entry points, like the first one that you traveled along. So, what you're probably looking for is an entry point, because if the main highway is like a day and a half per tree, that link has been broken. So, finding that link is probably going to be difficult. I guess a perception check is the best way to do this. Looking for a maple in the forest, but so let's yeah. Who would like to be the one leading that search?
I'll do it. I've probably got the best perception check in the party.
Okay.
Although if anybody wants to help spot,
We will help you.
25.
So if somebody is helping Roger, he will get advantage.
Sure, I'll help.
All right. So Roger, you notice a rock outcropping in the woods. Oh wow, look at that.
Advantage.
Yay, advantage. So you notice a rock outcropping in the woods with what seems to be an amphitheater with ornate looking stone carvings as you've traveled to the west. You probably wouldn't have noticed it if you weren't looking specifically for things out of the ordinary, such as a maple. Like in your search for a maple, you spot the rock outcropping and kind of guide the party toward it and find this amphitheater type setup. So it seems to be an unused structure at this point, but it's not really overgrown or anything like that. There seems to be a tree watchtower up at the top, but the whole facility seems to be empty. And you do see not too far from the amphitheater, there's like an entrance like gap in the amphitheater. Although you could approach the amphitheater at any point, there's a natural pathway from it that leads toward a maple tree. So you didn't spot the maple tree, but you did spot the weird rock outcropping that led you to one.
Still counts.
I consider this an absolute win.
However, when you approach the maple tree does not glow.
Could be that the tree that it was connected to is burned down.
Maybe the battery's low or something.
This little how far away from the scar is this?
I updated your icon now, so it's maybe a couple miles.
Okay, that's quite a ways.
It's not a day and a half, but it's a couple miles. Let's see here. Yeah, something like 5 miles.
What time is
it? It's a little bit more toward the afternoon now.
Something like this might be a decent place to pull up for the night if it wasn't so early still. Looks relatively secluded, and with the tree being cut off from the outside world, it's unlikely that anybody would interrupt us.
I agree.
You mentioned that there's some like ornate decorations around here. What do those look like?
There's some woven tapestries and the tree roots of the watchtower tree. That seems like the tree has grown taller than the trees around it, so it reaches above the canopy. Looks like it's a safe place for maybe the elves. This is obviously an elven structure, right? So, looks like the elves use this as an outpost to watch for enemies or issues. But all of the elves are gone. It looks like they may have left recently.
Can we get up into the watchtower
Yes.
without climbing?
Yeah, there's natural steps.
All right. I'm gonna go climb up into the watchtower and look around.
Okay. Similar to the trees that had the steps built into them and like little alcoves that spout around the tree naturally. Same type of thing here. Seems to be a mainstay of the elves, so that they don't have to necessarily climb the trees. Even though elves are also historically good at climbing trees.
Even if I personally am not.
Right. I guess you didn't learn that from your Seregen education. Yeah, you get up into the watchtower, and you can see pretty well in every direction. You're in kind of like a more raised area of the forest, so the area kind of falls away. You can just make out the scar to the west.
Is there any more smoke on the horizon from the trees? Or does that appear to be the only area where there are forest fires?
So the interesting thing about this forest fire is because of how the wind's blowing, the smoke has kind of filled the whole west in kind of like a line of like low clouds, but they're like gray and ominous looking. Maybe even more of the fire to the west has spread as opposed to the east. But looking around in other areas, like to the east of you, you don't see any such evidence of this.
Okay.
At least not yet.
Yeah. Go back down and let the party know.
So while he's looking at everything, what's the rest of the party doing?
Can we investigate the bottom of the structure? See if there's any signs of what may have happened to the people who were possibly here before?
Sure. So the cave itself, that's at the base of the tree that Roger climbed up, seems to have living areas and a common room. There is also a weapons rack at the end of the hall, which is currently empty. The doors to the living areas are also woven. They are not open and shut or lockable. And none of them are drawn shut. So they're all open, and you can see into each room. There is no one here. It's abandoned.
See if I can have
But
Brunhild sniff like some of the items and like around the house to see if she can sniff like a trail in case we need to use it to find the elves, like the way they went.
okay,
She's a dog. She's good at smelling. She has advantage.
give me a smell check.
Smell check.
17.
Okay. Brunhild smells some clothing that lays on the ground in one of the rooms, and does pick up a scent.
Nice. Can she follow that scent?
Sure. She follows it down the hall out into the amphitheater. Actually, no. She follows it to the weapons rack and then down the hall to the amphitheater. She follows it through the amphitheater in kind of a not a straightforward motion. She just kind of follows it around a bit, and then kind of picks it up again, and follows it down the path into the tree, where she kind of paws at the tree a little bit,
So they went through the tree.
and then sits down.
And it's the one that didn't glow with the leaf, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it did work at some point, which we're going to assume is before the fire. Or the guy that went through here had a way to make it stop working. to make sure no one can follow him. So I'm gonna look at Roger and be like, "You're right. This tree is the tree. I was just double checking for you."
Well, guess now we're deciding where to go next.
It's getting pretty late. We could rest here and then skedaddle. We still have to go. The dragon clans are way east, so I say we just keep going east and hope that we can avoid any kind of conflicts to just get there as fast as possible. Because I feel like while the dragons might not be the most powerful clan, if we can ally with them, they will be a pretty good force of because whatever allies they have, we could get them to lead us to them and ally with them. And then if we have enough people allied, we can make whatever clans are not allied with us that are wanting to attack not, and then we can try to force a peace treaty that way. And then we can come to the vampires with the whole clans, and Seregen, and try to see if we can force a peace treaty that way. And then I can get into Mehanir and see what that treasure map I still have is waiting on.
Sure.
I feel like getting this band has made me a lot smarter. I have a lot more strategies in my head now. And not just burn the forest down.
Yeah. In fairness, somebody already burnt the forest down, so you had to think of something better than that.
Sure.
This watchtower seems like enough cover.
Yarvik, what do you got?
I'm fine with. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. And you're just gonna kind of set up camp? What would you like to do? Anything? Okay.
Well, we can set up camp inside this house if we want to. Because I do have a door that I'm assuming is lockable. Because it's a 10 by 10 iron door that's barred on one side.
Is there any way that would inadvertently trap us inside, though?
The people that we're worried about either can make the trees do what they want them to, or can fly.
True.
So I don't know if we need to worry about the door so much, especially if this place is a guard tower. We are intending to keep watches still, I hope.
Yeah, that's true. Just remember,
at least close one of the
it as an
curtains.
option.
Yeah, we can close the curtains.
Because then the vampires can't come in unless we invite them in.
Is there a place we can hide our human?
Humans.
I only have one human.
We got humanoids.
So half elves would probably be considered human enough.
And how different from elves do they look?
Enough.
Okay.
Probably smell different too.
Yeah.
Based on how Reynard talked about both Belzian and Ulrich, it's safe to assume that both of them are probably the most in danger.
I'm in danger.
Does it look like we have a good place to hide the two of them at night? In case we have the rest of the afternoon to go looking for one.
Yeah, or maybe even having to construct one if not.
Yeah.
But I will say, as you settle in and make preparations for night, we can end session there for today.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Interesting.
Well,
retire for the night on 2 counts.
Hey.
yes. So an interesting session. You guys definitely both traveled far, but also not as far as you could have or would have liked to. But an interesting session for sure. So our next session would be September 13th. That's Tuesday. Is everybody good for the 13th?
That's so next month.
Should be.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Go a whole month
That should be
without
good.
D&D.
Can't believe it's already September, huh?
It's not already September.
Well, wake me up when it ends then.
Okay,
Either
great.
way, we will see you all in 2 weeks on the
See
13th
you
of
next
September,
month, Stu.
where we will continue this adventure into the unknown, into the woods. And thanks for joining us, everybody. It's been a blast. Hope to see you again soon.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Thanks for playing.